Is there another presentation?
What's that?
Is there another presentation going on?
Yeah.
But it's creating a story and then living as that story, being an ongoing demonstration of that story. That we are really on the edge of an enormous explosion in self-expression. Because for the first time in history, an enormous amount of people have 5 different things. At least these 5 different things. And if I'm getting this, I'm not a very bright person. So other people are getting this. People have time. They have more leisure time than they've ever had in history. They have more time to be pissed off and dissatisfied and not have to worry about putting food in their mouth than they've ever had in history. That's one. Number 2 is education. They have more access to information and they've been taught more than any group of people at any time in the history of the world. They have, that's 2. They have technology available for creating, portraying, expressing, and disseminating a vision, a story, than they've ever had. The internet has just exploded it. You know, we wouldn't be telling stories about language viruses and killer videotapes if we didn't already have the technology that would make those things a threat. You think in the Middle Ages, a killer videotape would be like a threat? It would just be like a piece of plastic that they maybe break with a rock. That would be the end of the ring. It would not be a big, scary thing. It would be just hit it. So, technology is available in the way that's never been available for dissemination. I don't know. Number 4 is maybe the most important thing, and that is dissatisfaction. Guess what? You have probably processed through more movies in your life at this point than any 10 people of the previous generation put together. You have been steeped in entertainment. You have seen so many plots. You have seen so many of the same characters, so many of the same stories told the same different ways, slightly different ways. And you know in your heart that you could do at least as well. That this body, this whole experience of all these movies, all these plots, this familiarity with all these stories is not just a waste of your life. It's, in a way, an education. You know more about story and plot than any other group of people in history because you've been exposed to more presentation, more telling of more stories than any other group in history. And first of all, it gives you the education. More importantly, it vaguely pisses you off that we aren't doing any better. Because every year you think, God, you know, can't they just bring out one decent movie a year? You know, you flip through those 200 cable channels, and you're like, one more Trading Places, decorating each other's house, TV shows? There's like 10 of those right now. And it's just ridiculous. One more reality TV program. You know, and it's that growing satisfaction, which is sort of factor number 4, that is, if nothing else, gonna push all of you into the resignation that is necessary to say, okay, screw it. I'm gonna take my shot at it. I'm gonna do it. Obviously, you people aren't doing your job, so no, fine, I'll handle it myself. That's sort of what I came to when I took like the 100th book off the shelf at the library and read the first few pages and thought, no, I'm not wasting another 200 pages of my life. I'm going to take a shot at this. And if I can at least do as good, then, I don't know, maybe I'll take up rollerblading, you know? And number 5, experience. Not necessarily all of you, but there is a monstrous center to the baby boom right now that is moving into the point of their lives when they've gone, whoa, okay, let's take a break. Okay. I got laid for the first time. I voted, okay. I went to college, I got a job, I got married, I had some kids, got another job, okay, got a car, I did it all. Let's just take a break and look back at my life. I did all the things I was supposed to do. Oh my gosh, I haven't really accomplished very much. I need to sort of reevaluate and record my stories and, in a way, archive my stories. They're at a point when they're afraid of starting to lose their stories. Things will be forgotten. They won't sort of leave a legacy. They will never be fully understood by their descendants, especially by their children. Number two, they want to, and so this is like point 5.2. Number two, they need to, within themselves, make some sort of sense out of their life up to this point. They can't just go on living an unexamined life. They need to stop at this point and examine their life and record everything up to this moment and organize it so that they can look at this moment and not keep making the same mistake again and again and again until they die. But to wrap all of this back, to sort of step back at this point, I would put forward that the next thing is going to be a story. Because right now, people really don't have a big story, a big software. They got a lot of little softwares. They got that little software story out there that's saying, Britney Spears is really hot. You know, that's being sung by hundreds of publicists right now. They got the little story that says, Vin Diesel is the next big thing. You know, they got that Vin Diesel software story spinning out there. But they don't have a big, like, communism will save us all. They don't have a big, what they call meta-narrative story. They don't have a big story like Christianity was a big story. So right now we need a really big story. What you have is the skills to come up with that story. And that story doesn't have to be in conflict or in reaction to the current story. Because I would say right now you don't effectively change anything by protesting. You don't change anything by chaining yourself to a beaver. You change it by finding a better way of serving that need that the beaver is serving. Okay? You give people a more effective way of living their lives. They won't give a shit about foreign oil, you know? You give them the right story and you make their cars obsolete, it's going to be like, God, we are just swimming in oil. What are we going to do with all this extra oil? You know, that's going to be the crisis. And you can do that within the culture without reacting to the government, the war, whatever. Because in a way, by reacting to it, you're wasting energy. You are making it stronger by giving it this token little resistance, keeping it in place. So your job, I would say, is to come up with a story like that that makes all of the things we worry about so much right now completely beside the point. That makes all the problems we have right now completely negligible because they won't even be, we won't even think about them because your story will be so incredible. I don't know what that story is, but that's why, you know, if I can make my case, somebody's going to come up with that story. The end.